con la boca. Da un poco de aire.
Yes, I changed my shirt. I'm traveling. When you travel, you just go smart and get a new shirt, don't you? Heading to England. I am in England, so I thought I'd start the day with a cup of tea. I thought I'd give tea a little homage. It'll be coffee from tomorrow, though. Yes, I've landed in the UK, and that means I have to isolate for 5 days because I'll take the early test to release. I have a pass for the European Championships accreditation, which means that I can go to games, and the next game I'm going to England, Germany, and I cannot wait. There'll be plenty of time to talk about it, but first I thought I'd share with you something that I've been meaning to talk to you about, but I couldn't find the forum for it. You'll see what I mean very soon. For instance, I interviewed Unai Emery for CBS for the Europa League final, and as well as talking about the final and also about his career, I wanted to discuss something publicly that we had discussed in private. I'll give you the context. In the Basque Country, there was a time of violence, deaths, of a dark period when ETA, the terrorist organization, tried to gain independence by killing people. There was also counter-terrorism from the state, it seems. They actually killed terrorists as well. So imagine that period, or better still, we cannot imagine that period, can we? I wonder what people of that era in that part of the world felt and what they thought of and how they lived through it. Well, Unai Emery was born in the Basque Country, and when he was a young man, he had to suffer all that. I discussed with him in that interview what it was like to live in fear, and this is what he told me.
I was born in San Sebastian in 1971, and in País Basque we were asking a lot of people the independence, and we had terrorists in our country for to achieve it. I lived some moment very dangerous when that history is real, is true, when we were in the bus and some people stopped the bus and come out, and they fighted, or they
burned it down.
They burned the bus, and it was the protest for that people. And when I was doing the military service, for example, we had some attack to us, but not for me, but for the captain, for the important people in the military level.
Was it your immediate superior that got attacked and killed? Is that right?
When I was doing the military service, it was compulsory. 1 year, we suffered an attack in our home
compound,
military compound home. And really was a difficult moment in our country.
Shocking, isn't it? We just became almost insensitive to it because it was in the news every day, and we just ignored it at the end. We didn't want to understand really what it was about, but I'm glad that Unai and others are talking openly about what that was like for us to really understand. On a happier note, as you know, my Maradona book has come out in Spanish on the 8th of July. It will come out in English, but one of the traditions when it comes out is actually I hand over a copy of it to those that have helped me. So I go and meet them and we discuss whatever, really. In this case, I went to Mauricio Pochettino's house. I handed it over the book, and of course we discussed Maradona for hours. He told me anecdotes of his time with him, some of which are in the book already anyway, and he went to see him right at the end too, and I know that he cried when Diego died. In fact, I know many Argentinians cried when Diego left us. It was different in Napoli. I went to Napoli the day after and took pictures of the stadium and around the stadium. And what I saw was many youngsters, first 500, and there have been 10,000, that were defiant. They were with flares, trying to say, Diego, we won't forget you. you will be alive with us and in our memories. There was no tears. There was, as I say, defiance. And there was silence in Barcelona. Why? Well, it's all explained in the book. Diego Maradona was different in those three parts of the world, and I explained it in the book at length, because that helps you understand what Diego was to people. Talking about books, I've started to think about the next one. I'm like my mother. I've got her genes, and she doesn't stop. She starts work in the morning, doesn't stop until she goes to bed, and my mind is like that, in constant movement. So I discuss what my next book could be like with somebody that you know.
Por cierto, la editorial inglesa me ha pedido que haga un libro que se llama Pep in England. ¿Qué les digo?
Tú sabrás. Tú sabrás. Tú sabrás.
Ya hablaremos.
Espera un par de años a escribirlo, aún nos quedan 2 años más. Espera un par de
Bueno, pero esto se tiene que empezar ya, para que luego en 2 años.
So what do you think? I'm actually going to put a poll after the tweet that carries this video. Do you think it's a good idea or not to do a book that explains the influence of Pep Guardiola, of Pochettino, of Rafa Benitez, of Roberto Martinez in English football? Do you know, I've been in England almost 3 decades, on and off, and when I watch England, I feel it's my team as well. I feel that the way they play, I can recognize, and I know the players feel that they have been influenced by Spanish football. Mostly Pep Guardiola's team and Barcelona, but generally that way of understanding the game. That's why I feel so close to England. So, I don't know, what do you think? Let me know.